Hello, my name is Antoine, and this is my step-by-step process video for installing a basic home thermostat. The tools you'll need for this job is a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, drill bits, a drill, a level, and needle nose pliers. The main safety precaution behind this job is to make sure you shut the power off. You do not want to miss that. A lot of people think just because a thermostat is low voltage, it can't do any harm. Please make sure you shut the power off. So step one in the process is shut the power off. Step two, you'll want to remove the old thermostat. Don't yank on it or pull, just it snaps off fairly easily. You may need to take your flathead screwdriver and use it as a tool to help you pop that loose. For your next step, take a picture of the wiring that you see currently existing. There's a reason for that can be explained later. Actually, we can explain that now. Each wire has a letter coexisting to it, and you'll want to make sure you remember those letters. Matter of fact, the next step is to label your wires. Your new thermostat, at least the one I just installed last week, it had labels inside to coincide with the letters that you'll see when you look at the diagram, the wiring diagram inside the old thermostat. So label each wire with the stickers. If they don't have stickers, you can take a piece of masking tape and just write it on there, but just label your wires for future use. Then tape those wires to the wall so that they're out the way. The next step would be to remove the old mounting plate. That's just where you take your flathead or Phillips screwdriver and just remove the screws, pop that little thing off. Actually, I'm sorry, I told you to tape your wires to the wall. That was a mistake. After you remove that old mounting plate, now you want to tape your wires to the wall. So now you're ready to install your new one. So it should already be out the box. You'll take the new mounting plate, you'll put that on the wall. You may need to reposition it, so that's where the drill and the drill bits come in. You may need to make new screw holes. And then on the flip side to that, you may need to make a repair for where your old thermostat was. But sometimes you don't. I didn't have to, so that's why I didn't mention that part, but I thought as a heads up, I would throw that in there. You may potentially have to do a drywall repair behind all of this. So anyway, so once you get your new mounting plate mounted on the wall, you now can take the wires, and on the new mounting plate, you'll start to see those letters again. And since you've already labeled your wires previously, you'll just take the letter wire and stick it in the slot. You want to have at least a 1/4 inch exposure on each wire. So this is where the needle nose pliers comes in handy. If you don't feel like you have at least a 1/4 inch, you can just strip a little bit of that off and then stick that in there, and you should have a good connection. Then you want to attach your new thermostat to the mounting plate. Back up one step, I apologize. You will need to level off your mounting plate before you drill your new holes. If you don't, your mounting plate or your thermostat may be crooked, so I'm going to throw that in there. I almost forgot, I apologize, but you definitely want to make sure you level that off before you drill your new holes and screw that in. So once you drill your holes, insert your drywall anchors and your screws in your mounting plate, connect your wires. Now you're connecting your thermostat. You should have a nice straight thermostat. And then what you want to do is go turn the power back on. Now this step, the last step, is a very important step, and a lot of people don't follow this step thoroughly, is you want to make sure that you flip the heat on and let the heat kick on. Then you want to turn your thermostat down and let your AC kick on. It's summertime now, so what had me fix my thermostat was obviously the AC stopped working. So if I would have got my AC to kick back on, it wasn't 100% guaranteed that my wiring would be correct. Sorry, that's a bug, but my wiring would have been correct to make the heat run. So you really want to make sure you check both of those. If they both check out, you're done. If not, you pull the old thermostat off, figure out where your wiring mistake was done, and correct that, and repeat the step again. Turn your heat on, cool. Turn your AC on, cool. You're done. Thank you.